So Liam Donaghy wants to know, why did you choose to go with Malekith as the main antagonist for Thor: The Dark World?
Well, Liam, we're huge fans of Walt Simonson, and the Walt Simonson books were very, very important to us as we were starting to make the first film. And we love that we love Malekith's backstory. We love that he comes with an entire race, the Dark Elves. We love that he comes with an entire planet with Svartalheim. And while we didn't think there was room for him in the first movie, we thought if we get to make a second one, he will be the bad guy.
And I was excited that we got a bad guy. Like you said, his story goes way back, because when you're fighting Thor and Asgard and Odin, you need to have villains that have the same oomph that they have. And Chris Eccleston, who plays him, really enjoyed sort of the backstory in the comic books, and also he looked into the mythology that precedes all of this, that Malekith also appears in.
Is Loki in prison because he wants to be? His theory is because he could have jumped to a different realm when the fighting went wrong for him at the end of the Avengers. So why was he captured? Did he want to get caught?
It's a good question.
Really smart question.
And when it comes to Loki, yes, I guess one must always answer that question. But I don't believe he wanted to be caught. I think the Avengers beat him down. I think Hulk beat him down. And I think he went back willingly, but I think he was plotting from the moment he got into the dungeon.
And Tom was reading books. Tom was very important to Tom that Loki constantly be reading and improving his mind instead of exercising and getting ready. So he was, as you say, always plotting even when he was there.
Ryan Hamilton would like to know, will we get to see Odin kick some ass in the Dark World?
Ryan, you'll get to see Odin, yes, kick a little bit of ass. You know, obviously being the king, you spend a lot of time on the throne, and when you have a son like Thor, you send him out to do much ass kicking. But you might get to see him.
I remember Gungnir blasting at least once.
You may get to see Gungnir blast once or twice.
This is more of an Avengers question, so maybe more for Kevin, but Alan Paxton wants to know, will the Avengers learn that Coulson lives?
Alan, good question. Will the Avengers learn that Coulson lives? I think they are probably aware of the goings-on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah.
It all ties together.
Yes.
Fox Briggs would like to know, should we be expecting an action-packed Marvel film or a bit more of a slow, steady, story-based one?
Talking about Thor: The Dark World? I'm happy to say I think it is action-packed. I think it's the action drives all the way through the film. But what I love about it most, I think, is that it balances all of that in a Marvel kind of way with humor and with real emotion, with real pathos. You know, some characters we care about are really in trouble. But it's hilariously funny. We've been hearing from the audiences. I'm very glad to hear that. So all those things. But yes, there's a lot of action, and I really enjoy the action myself.
Andrew Hetherington would like to know, will there be any cameos from other characters in the Marvel Universe?
Well, Andrew, if it's cameos you're looking for, I think it's safe to say cameos you will find.
And it's safe to not say any more than that, I guess.
It's Ryan Hamilton asks the age-old question: if you had superpowers, which ones would you have?
I know my answer to this because my 6-year-old asks me every couple of days what superpowers I should have, as though he's been expecting me to develop them or get to work on them. And he spends a lot of time agonizing over what his superpowers should be. For me, it's pretty straightforward. It's always been flying. One of the lines I enjoy in our movie is Thor gets to turn to his brother and say, of the two of us, which one of us can actually fly? And I think that's something he's got over Loki, and I wish I could do that too.
Flight is a good one. I think of all of our heroes' powers, it would be an Iron Man suit I would love to have. I think having an Iron Man suit in your garage would be a handy thing to have.
Sam Wilson would like to know, could a deal ever happen between the right studios that would allow Spider-Man, the X-Men and the Avengers on screen together?
Who asked that question?
Sam Wilson.
Sam Wilson, Falcon? Wow. Well, Sam, as you know, your first appearance is coming up in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And it's a good example of the amount of characters that Marvel already has that we can add to future installments of the films. So I would say not anytime soon would we be in a position to team up with other studios who have a few of our characters, because we have so many of our characters ourselves, but I would never say no.
Final question, this is from Alan Paxton, and he wants to know, how much involvement has Joss Whedon had on the Phase 2 movies, and will he be involved in any way in the Marvel's Phase 3 projects?
Joss is very much involved in all of the Phase 2 movies. particularly in how they all are leading up to his movie, Avengers Age of Ultron, knowing where the characters end up in their solo films, so he knows where to start them in his film. So he's been gracious enough to read the drafts, to give some input into the drafts, to look at early cuts of the film, and to sort of be a creative resource to bounce off of, and to give some insights into some of the characters, and even some line suggestions. There's some lines in the Dark World that were Joss's, which we're very thankful for.
What will you sacrifice for what you believe?